Now, my friend, one of the worst things in the world is when somebody tells you the truth. It's the worst. It's the most annoying thing anybody. You don't want to hear the truth. The truth dispels things. You want to believe in fantasy. You want to believe in goodness. You want to believe in a lot of things. I know people who actually want to believe in this thing called the devil. And the reason why they want to believe in the devil is that they believe that somehow it's not them. No, we're the devil. We're the devil, not them. We are. We're there's no devil making us do this. We do this on our own. Think about it. People hate that. What do you mean? I'm telling you, we don't need anybody to inspire our evil. We're evil. We do this. We do this on our own. We don't need anybody to be the center of anything that destroys people. What? You mean to tell me it's us? Yes. But we always love to explain something away. It's called the locus of control, LOCUS. It's the reason why it's the worst part. The worst part about being attacked, burgled, robbed, seriously harmed, and I'll leave it at that by virtue of our algorithm sensors, is the fact when you're being held and you can't do anything, when you have no locus, no sight of control. It's the worst thing there is when you realize I've got no control. They asked one time I was watching this wonderful, what is her name? Sachs, the woman who's a law professor, who's a schizophrenic, wrote this incredible, she's a schizophrenic, and she talks to you about what it's like to be like. It's the most fascinating thing in the world. Anyway, she said the number one thing that everybody who's ever been in a mental hospital always says is, don't restrain me. It's the thing, you can do whatever you want to me. Put me in a room, lock me up, don't restrain me. It just is the worst. And you are restrained. So what you do is you create illusions to believe that there are control systems, prayer, flags, voting, faith, happiness, working out, pictures. And the greatest delusion is by virtue of social media. That provides this little halcyon world that you can live in that doesn't exist. You have no idea what it has done to the female psyche in America. I can't speak of the rest of the world, but I know this. Grown women acting like the most petulant little schoolgirls and mean girls at a high school. You have no idea. Women whose sole goal is to be sexy and hot. I know, I'm telling you, you might say to yourself, why is he talking about that? Because it's the truth. It's the truth. You better understand that. You can ask 90% of American women, do you want to be called brilliant or hot? Not pretty. No. Pretty is easy. Hot, sexy, overwhelmingly dripping with sexuality, or the most brilliant woman I've ever met. Pretty, sexy, hands down. And if you don't understand this, and you don't grasp that, and you're offended by this, or you're one of these people who says, well, I'm not like that, you're missing the point. We have this thing, especially in social media, that says, well, I don't do that. Do you know there was a discussion the other day about fentanyl, and people say, well, I don't do that. I said, we're not talking about you. We're not talking about you. Why do people always say, well, I don't do that? Fentanyl, for example, is not overdose. Fentanyl is given to kill people. It's a poison. So what we do right now is I'm going to explain a couple of things, which I'm always trying to do. This is the most imperfect system in the world. I had so much faith. When I first heard Bobby Kennedy, I said, that's the guy I'm voting for. I swear to God, before this Trump thing, he was so good. And then he just fell apart. Dripping, bro. Literally. Thank you, Andy. I thought to myself, this guy's going to be it. No. There's so much stuff going on right now. You have no idea. We're the most remember I told you the other day, they're throwing things at JD Vance. Now listen, do me a favor. promise me that you'll join me in saying, and not saying, I don't particularly care for JD Vance. It's too late. It's too late. It's just like when people say to me, well, I don't watch CNN. I don't care whether you watch it. It's too late. JD Vance is the guy. That's it. That's it. That's it. Yeah, but it's it. JD Vance. That's it. Talk about, forget talk. JD Vance is the guy. JD Vance is the guy. I can't explain it anyway. Christians got it right. We are Lionel Nation. Thank you, sir. Remember the other day when I told you there was some dirt about JD Vance, and they found a picture of him dressed as whatever it is. Now, did you see this picture? Did you see this picture? Tell me you saw it. From a law school, the picture of him. I know. I know somebody's going to say, well, I don't particularly. Okay, fine. Who saw the picture of JD Vance dressed as whatever? Anybody see it? Yes, I understand. JD Vance called Trump Hitler. Okay, I know. Get over it. Okay, what do you think? JD Vance in drag. Did you see it? Anybody see that? Anybody see it? No, that's good. You didn't see it? You never saw this, right? It's a big deal today. You didn't see it? That's good. I like this, called Guy Liner. Ooh, you hear that, honey? Guy Liner. Wow. Okay, very good. Anybody see that? Nobody saw it, huh? Nobody saw it? Yep. Okay, you saw it? Okay, Shelby says stupid. I don't know what that means. I'm stupid. It's stupid. We're stupid. Her stupid. Always remember that when you're typing, don't say something like, yes. Yes what? It's like a Brad Oplin code, SFDW/2 R Tango Alpha X. To be seen, WTF. I don't know what that means. So you have to see, look at Shelly. Yes. Yes. No. Yes. So what? Don't say so what. Oh, no. That's not going to do anything. You're not going to work on my team. If you, how do you respond to this? You don't say to go, so what? Okay, thank you. The Vance team said, so what? There's a picture of him. You got to see the picture. Ladies in particular, you got to see the picture. If you didn't see the picture, say, I don't know what I'm talking about. This was a picture that was taken by somebody trying to dress up like a woman, either as a gag or like Hasty Pudding. Have you ever seen Hasty Pudding at Harvard? You know the whole thing about theatrical women, not drag, not drag, not Rachel Levine drag, but men dressed as Some Like It Hot, Milton Berle, Flip Wilson. You know that, right? You ever see when somebody's putting a wig on, trying to say like, hey, look at me, and they're not cross-dressing. They're not a cross-dresser. That's the JD Vance picture. He's got a beard on. He's putting his thing on. He's got one of these yellow kind of monofilament wigs. And it's obviously, it was a, I don't know what it was, some kind of a costume party or something. This is not somebody dressing as somebody saying, I'm a woman. Like, for example, Frank Luntz, that beaver pelt he wears in his head, he wants you to think that's real. We'll talk about him in a moment. This is not it. So you got to see this right away. You got to see the picture and look at it. It's from his law school day at Yale. Somebody found it. And the first question you got to do is, you think that's cross-dressing? You're looking at it right now. You're saying there's cross-dressing? Let me get this straight, Dems. Excuse me. When Rachel Levine came out, assuming it is cross-dressing, you're bringing it up? You're bringing it up as what? You're bringing it up as a form of what? Mockery? Excuse me. You're the ones who want everybody to understand and to appreciate and to accept people who are cross-dressing. You're mocking this. So what's it going to be? So you're saying that's weird, right? Let me get this straight, Dems. Write this down. You're saying that somebody who's a cross-dresser should be eliminated from what? Are you thinking he's a hypocrite? Are you suggesting force people to say it? Are you suggesting he's a closeted tranny? Say it. What are you saying? And they won't know what to do. Well, we don't know what we're saying. So why'd you bring it up? You bring up a woman. You saw Rachel Levine. You went crazy. And then here's somebody who you're basically outing. He's doing this. Obviously, look at this. Rachel Levine, you could say, no, she's serious. When you first saw Rachel Levine, let's face it, you thought, what the hell is this? Oh, she's serious. Oh, how are you? Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, she's real. She's real. Other people really aren't. Sometimes you see like the guy who shows up with the beard and the government. No. So let's just start with this thing. But there's something else about JD Vance who's behind it. There's other stuff. I told you this the other night. So here's a way they respond. How do these people work? Do you respond? Do you react? Do you let it go? Do you say, no, we determine this. It's too minor to act. Or by not responding to it, are you suggesting that there's something to this? You've got to look at the way things are. Is it momentary? Is it going to go away? Is it going to fall? What does it matter? Meanwhile, you've got the GOP and the RNC with this dingbat, Laura Trump, who is not qualified to do any of this stuff. Why she's involved in this, I have no idea. I have no idea. Okay, next point. And this is the most important. The biggest fraud in the world is a guy named Frank Luntz. Luntz sounds like the sound. If I were to take a meatball, a regular sized meatball, and drop it into toilet water from about that far off, the sound to make is a Luntz. It sounds like a Luntz, and a double Luntz would be too. He is a person who is, so help me God, one of these folks who years ago as a young person, kind of like the Lee Atwaters, the Roger Stones, the people who become fixated on policies, and they're very good at this. And Frank Luntz, he lives in LA and he has a room that's a replica of the Oval Office, and and I remember somebody stayed with him one time. Was it anyway? So he's been around for a long time. He basically loves Trump. He has some kind of a thing with Trump. Trump, I think, laughed at him or something, and he didn't care for him. So he's got a real problem with Trump. Okay. So Frank Luntz, and listen to me carefully. I'm not trying to. This is not about Frank, but Frank Luntz is emblematic of what's going on. There are people on TV. Go down the list. Name it: Jay Tapper, Mark Levin, Victor Davis Hanson, Maggie Callahan, Miranda Devine, Don Lemon. Go down the list. Go down the list. What's their job? To say something. To say anything? Oh, no, not anything. To say something that acts as an asseveration and a replication and a something you want to hear. There was a guy who said the other day, a man who has called every election since 20. What do you mean he called it? Well, Lechman, Splickman, whatever his name is. This guy said, well, he called it every single election, and he says that Kamala Harris. And I'm asking, what about Splickman? Splickman said that. Who's Splickman? I don't know. Some guy who said who is he? I don't know. Luntz lives in Mao's son's old home. Wow. Wow. Okay. I'll look into that. Interesting. Anyway. So people take this to heart. And I asked, did you read what the man said? No. I read the headline. And the headline said, man who has never missed an election says such and such. Well, do you know what he's going to say? No. No. So you didn't read the article? No, I didn't read the article. But what do you think about that? I don't know. I told you I didn't read the article. Why didn't you read the article? I don't know. So why are you bringing it up? I don't know. I read the headline. Do you normally read the headlines only? Yeah, if I read anything. I don't really read anything. I just saw this and somebody told me. He said, what do you think about that? What do you think about it? I'm asking you what you think about it. Don't you read? I didn't read it. I don't read what he said. Did you read the qualifications of if, and if? No, I didn't. I don't read these. I don't know anything about this. I'm asking you. I just saw this headline and so you don't read? No, I don't read. I don't know. I get a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Or I sit back and I say, it doesn't matter. That's most Americans. I'm not trying to be cruel, but most Americans don't know anything. Nothing. They kind of, to them, it's like it's not even, they don't even know how it's done. They don't know how the conventions work. They don't know about, they know about things like what the World Series. They know about the Super Bowl. They know a little bit about the Olympics, but politics, nothing. They believe every poll that's out there. And they don't understand that poles are transitory. They don't understand a lot of things. Poles are great. Somebody just breaks their leg. Okay. Somebody's been in a cast for, let's say, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it is. Great. You take the cast off. How do you feel? I feel great. You know why you feel great? You feel great because the cast is off. Don't walk on it. No, I feel great. No. Don't walk on it. No, I'm going to walk on it. Next thing you know, they feel terrible. Okay. So you call somebody up and they say, the doc, hey, doc, my leg is killing me. I know. I told you not to walk on it. Yeah, but I felt so good today. Well, that was a snapshot. See, that was that moment. I told you later on this would happen. Later on this would happen. I got to tell you the story very quickly, just as an aside, and this has nothing to do with it, but it is kind of emblematic. I know this friend of a friend of a friend, and it's a new couple. And the new couple that was married, and they're just the most perfect couple you've ever seen. They're great. And the most important thing about them is that they're friends. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like that they like each other. And so they have this other friend of theirs who they're going through trouble. And they're always fighting, this other couple. And they shouldn't have gotten married, but they did. And the other couple is telling them, you better watch out. You better watch out because one of these days, after 10 years or whatever, it's over. Things change. Things change. Now, how do you analyze that? Do things change? Sure, things always change. But that's not the issue. The issue is they changed. So you take the data. What I'm trying to say, you take the data and you look and you say, well, what is the data really all about? M.A. Green says you don't have to like the person you vote for. This is not a homecoming queen contest. Wake up. Well, that's very, very true. And my version of this is very, very simple. I don't care whether you like Trump or not. It doesn't really matter. It's like, remember the old days, castor oil. We don't really take castor. I don't know who takes castor oil. But the idea is that one time when we were kids, my mother had paregoric, which was opium in it. Oh, yeah. And one time we were little kids, you go, here, I got a stomach ache, try this. Whoa. And it tasted like horrible, but it's like, we got a little bit of little opium kick there. It's like, yeah, what was that? It was not enough to do anything. Well, that's like Trump. May not taste good, but it's good for you. Okay. So what am I saying? What are all these stories? He's talking about marriages and this. The question is, look at the people, ask yourself the question and ask, why do people say what they do? This couple is saying the other day, because they're miserable. They're telling our friends, wait till after 10 years because they're miserable. And they're trying to say, you're not going to be happy because we're not happy. And we didn't do anything wrong. You're not going to be happy because marriage sucks because we're not happy. That's what it's about them. Gwig says, bestseller, Ask Not, exposes RFK Jr. et al. Of the horrific treatment of wife and women. Off topic, but Kamala también. Super mayor is back in the news due to Lightfoot's report. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, you're right about that. Tiffany Henyer, who is my favorite, could be, by the way, 3 terrible examples of Black women in office. Okay. We override sound device to our detriment, Raul says. You're right about that. Thank you. Three classically horrible Black women, even though, look at this, Andy says, always vote for someone you hate less. No, but that's cute. That's funny. Tiffany Henyard, Dalton, Illinois mayor. And thank you, Andy, and thank you for that. Dalton mayor. The DEI head of, what was it, Delta Airlines? This is terrible. Could you please tell me, I got about Frank Luntz in a moment. Hang on, John. Would you please tell me, and this is something, would you hire somebody who weighed 300 pounds? I'm going to ask the most brutal question there is. I'm going to ask you a question. I am dead serious. If you said, I'm going to pick somebody who's going to be the head of my whatever it is, and it's not fat shaming, and you said, well, she's very good, but she weighs 300 pounds. Do you think that means something today? Yes or no? I think so. Absolutely. We have got to get real. Okay, because people always talk about white privilege and there's a privilege, but they never say, what does it mean with somebody who weighs 300 pounds? There's something wrong right here. There's something not right. There's something. This is not healthy. This is not good. And I want to know more about this. We have to we have to. And this is my last time out. We have to really tackle the notion of morbid obesity and stop talking as though it's this fad. No, it's not. It's fat and it's dangerous. And it's a sign of serious, serious problems. Human beings should not be 300 pounds. There's something very wrong with it. Either the culture, and don't blame, well, it's the culture. Well, it's fast food. Excuse me. That's like saying, hey, I'm an alcoholic. I'm drinking. I drink a fifth of whatever. Oh, don't blame me. It's the proximity of the liquor store. It's the messaging. No. Hey, I do heroin. Hey, don't blame me. It's because of rockstar. Keith Richard glorified. No. I wish we'd stop doing this and realize that this is not a good thing. This is something sick. Okay. Back to what I was saying. If you listen to anybody, including this guy, Frank Luntz, Mark Levin, go down the list, their job is simply one thing and one thing only. What is it? To have them back again. Ta-da. What is my role as a restaurateur? To bring you back. Not to say, that was the best dinner. That was great. But you know what? That's a little too expensive. And I'm not coming back anymore. But thank you very much. But this was the best meal I ever had in my life. But I'm not coming back. No. Frank Luntz is a fraud. Frank Luntz is a guy who says, who will pay me to say what you want? Who will pay me to say what you want? Let me give you the idea that I am aware of something, that I tweak words. Don't call it environmental. Call it climate change. Don't call it, euphemisms. Don't call it this. Call it this. And they take the idea of voting, and he makes this sound as though you are in the possession of a man with the world's worst wig who decides that he knows so much about why people vote. Trump is losing this because he is not getting the message regarding, but stop it. Frank Luntz is trying to say something, so you'll say, hey, that guy was interesting. Get him on again. Is he right? I don't know if he's right or not, but get him on again. Get him on again. If two doctors go on TV to talk about the benefits of push-ups, one guy is jacked and in great shape. The other one is 75 years old and can barely move. Both of them provide the same information. The guy who is jacked is going to be brought back because you like to look at him. It has nothing to do with the information. He's telling you, oh, I'm going to look like this. Okay, fine. I'll do that. There used to be a magazine years ago called Strength and Fitness. It was Joe Weider. There was like 800 million articles on how to curl. I mean, with some guy, Franco Columbu, curling. And you say, well, I'm going to look like that. And I'm thinking, do you not see what this joke is? Judas Goat says, my mom gave us Paregoric too for a quick bowel. It tastes identical to me to a Greek alcohol ouzo. Yes. Both of them even turn to cloudy white when water is added. Hit that like button for a quick bowel. Oh, I like that. It does taste like ouzo. Right. Very anisette kind of. Now, Frank Luntz was saying, Trump is doing this, Trump is doing that. First, do you want me to tell you all the mistakes Trump's making? Yes. Yes. You want me to do that? How long would you like me to tell you the mistakes Trump's making? Would you want to hear it? You don't want to hear this. I know that too, because because believe me, I'm not going to fool myself. I'm not going to tell you the truth so much that nobody watches me. I'm going to be honest with you. If I told you the truth, you say, I can't watch this guy. He makes me feel terrible, but it's the truth. I know, but I don't want that truth. I don't want that truth. I'm sorry. I don't like that truth. Yeah, but he's right. I don't care whether he's right or wrong. It doesn't make me feel good. I like this one because I like to watch Jesse Waters because he tells me that Kamala is stupid. And I'm not saying you're saying that, but I know that. And I can't tell you everything. I can get real close to it because believe me, you don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to. Nobody does. The truth is mean and brutal and It's just awful. Now, the truth is good if you're willing to change stuff. If I say, listen, here's the truth now. The truth now. If I'm a golf star, you have the worst swing ever of anybody in the history of the world. That's now, but I'm going to fix it. Now, when your swing is perfect, you're going to say, thank you for telling me the truth. See? You didn't like it then, but you like it now. It's like when you always go on a diet, always add 5 pounds to where you started from, because later on you'll say, I lost 78 pounds. What? Well, 73, but when you tell people how old you are, add 10 years on. How old are you? 78. What? Yeah. How many people? Mick Jagger never got as much attention as now. He's 81. 81. Holy God. Mick Jagger's 48. That's okay. So Frank Luntz has this idea that Donald Trump is doing this. It comes down to simply this. Frank, they're going to steal the election? Yes or no? And take that thing off your head. Frank, you're going to steal the election? Left no. Forget this. Are they going to steal the election? Yes or no? Are they going to steal the election? Hot Pocket says, check out Luntz's replica of the Oval Office. I know that. The guy is creepy as hell. Oh, that's what I said, Hot Pocket. That's right. He's got the Oval Office. Yep. He creeps me out. But aside from that, Frank, are they going to steal the election? You can do all this stuff. Well, Trump's popular. Excuse me. Yeah, if you don't mind. Frank, over here. They're going to steal the election? Ask LBJ about stealing the election. Ask JFK what Sam Giancana did. They're going to steal the election? Since 2020, this country did this thing. One of the benefits of COVID was to provide people with this thing, which is most important. And what it was this love of mail-in ballots and changing everything. Well, listen, these are COVID times, and we can't worry about things like authentication of the ballot. We can't do what we're going to do. We can't. Well, look, hold it. We can't. You can't validate every ballot, for God's sakes. What are you going to do? And they never corrected anything. And meanwhile, Lara Trump is walking around saying, how am I doing? All right? All right? I'm doing okay? Yeah, okay. Lara, what are you doing? I'm not doing anything. Lara, you're in charge of the GOP. Well, technically speaking. What do you mean technically? Are you running the show? Nope. Why? Because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to go on Judge Janine, and that's all I want to do. I want to go to CPAC. I want people to love me. I want to show you how I'm at the gym. Look at me. She's a Trump. Wow, that's great. That's all they want to do. So go back to Frank Luntz. Frank, who's watching the thing? I don't know. Frank, who's watching this? I don't know. Frank, how do we know that they're not going to steal the election? What do you mean they're going to steal the election? What do you mean steal the election? Who's stealing the election? Frank, are you just stupid or what? Do you not understand what's going on? Frank, what are you doing? Frank, he talks such complete garbage. And the reason why they like him is that because he speaks well and he says exactly what they want him to say. And that's why he's on every single time. You know who does that too? Victor Davis Hanson. Vic does never tell you anything that freaks you out. Vic never tells you anything where you say, what? He'll talk about the Peloponnesian War. He'll talk about this. He'll talk about that. But I mean, Vic never tells you anything like, Vic, don't say that. No, nobody, they won't do this. So number one, Frank, sit down. Frank Luntz. Are you going to steal the election? Well, I don't know. Nobody ever talks about the Republicans stealing the election. You notice that? That's the first problem. It's always, are they going to steal it? Because we know better. What does that tell you? Right off the bat. Guess what, Trump? You got a big problem. Nobody even conceives of you stealing the election. That's the province of these people. How do you like them apples? Do you know what's going on? No. What are you doing? I don't know. You have no idea. Do you know anything about these illegals? Nope. No, but we're going to hear Frank Luntz talk about the attitude. You see the momentum of the. Shut up with your momentum. Are they going to steal the election legally or not? Frank Luntz can't do that. Why? Because they're not going to have him back on CNN. Excuse me? Did you say steal? Yeah. Well, you better be careful because they're going to, we're not going to hit with that Dominion lawsuit business. I didn't say Dominion. We don't care. We don't want you to even think about this. And Smartmatic, la, 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 la. If you don't think, steal it legally. Legally. Don't you understand? Now do you understand why the Democrats for the longest time wanted to make this idea that black people can't show IDs? Why? Because it's racist. They didn't think that. They just wanted to get rid of the ID requirement so that Pedro can walk in there with his 8 kids or whatever it is and vote 8 or 9 times. And you're so worried about being a racist, you'll say, okay, let him in, let him in, let him in. Believe me, they would much rather say, count the ballots. I don't want to be the subject of some Dinesh D'Souza documentary where they drop 1,000, 3 o'clock in the morning, they're dumping. I don't want to do that. I'll pay these people why they're in. We know where all of them are. We'll put the word out. You better show up. You have precinct 31. You got it. 31. Ahora. Boom. You over here. You over here. Go, go, go. Who are they? Listen to me. Don't ask me for ID. I don't know nothing. Okay. I'm sorry. You're right. They think I forgot. Okay. Just sign this. Sign this provisional thing. And then that's it. There's a vote. There's a vote. All legal. What are you doing about that, Laura, whatever the hell your name is? What are you doing about that? That's what you're doing. Next, Frank, you don't understand something. People are stupid. People are stupid. People start off with voting not because of Trump's record. They start off with liking Trump. Liking him. I wish we could conduct an experiment, Frank, but we can't. I wish we could go back in time in a separate parallel universe. And I set this thing up where Trump comes out and they love Trump. They just love him. America. And this. And I'm proud to be an American. Well, at least I know I'm free. Are you free? Huh? Are you free? As free as it gets. And hope to die for the people who came and the liberty. And then we'll stand up next to you. You going to play this again? Yep, every single time. God bless the USA. Great. So we're free? Yeah, really free? Crime, trafficking, confiscatory, kids and drug. What are you talking about? I don't know. Hit it. I'm proud to be. Okay, fine. So that's Trump. Now let's assume that Trump, in the course of this thing, all of a sudden stops and says, by the way, I believe that kids should be given money, funding to change their gender. What? How many of those would it be before people stop liking Trump? That's the question. Big Ryan says Trump is plus 0.8 of a point in Pennsylvania. At this time in 2020, Biden was plus 6 and won it by a razor-thin margin of 80,000. So if Dems try stealing it with such a larger margin, it'll be some trick. Listen, the question is right, and you're right about that. But who's going to come after it and hold these people accountable? That's the thing Frank Luntz isn't talking about. Frank Luntz hasn't even talked about the idea of stealing. Frank Luntz lives in this la-la land where he says, oh no, it's about attitude. It's about... So going back to what I said, by the way, Ryan, thank you. How much can Trump veer from this? So you like him at first, and then he'll say something like, okay, what does he have to say? I think we should make the border safe. What do you think? Yeah. Going back in time, imagine a parallel universe at a time when I went to Democrats and say, listen, I think we should make imagine years ago, I go to Democrats and I say, I think we should make the border safe. Why? To make sure that we have all of our allocated resources here for black people and poor people in our own country. What do you think? That's a good one. What do you think, Democrat? Sounds good to me. And after all, we don't know if these people have COVID or not. Oh, that's a good call. It's a good point. I mean, we don't go away. What if they have monkeypox? Oh, Jesus, monkeypox. Remember that? That lasted for like an hour and a half. We were scared out of our minds about monkeypox. What the hell is it? I don't know about a monkey. Oh, you just say monkey. Oh, my God. How about this? Shingles. Oh, God. Big herpes, herpetic scales like shingles, like a slatted. Oh, God. Sounds horrible, doesn't it? Like the grip, the croup, consumption, all these terrible sounding names. Okay. Now the Democrats say, oh, no. Open borders. Open borders. That's the way to go. How did they change that? Who changed that? Frank, what do you think about that? You got an idea about that one, Frank? Frank, you with me, Frank? Maybe loosen the elastic on that thing. Do you understand that? How did that work, Frank? How did rational people go from, I think it's a good idea to, Hey, Democrats, you ever go to the airport? Yeah. You come out of a different country? When you go through that passport thing, you think we should get rid of that? You think we should get rid of it? What do you think? You think we should get rid of it? What? Just have people just come in. Just say, come on in. No, come on. In the old days, they would say no, but now we say yes. So what happened to them? Why did it take Trump to say, I think we should do something about the borders? Why was that such a big deal? Why was that? And the reason for that, Frank, is because Trump's personality was so great. He did something to people like you cannot believe. Trump is to the right, well, whatever that is, what Joy Behar is. Doesn't Joy Behar to me, when I hear her voice, there's and I know that my baritone has an effect on people as well. I understand that. When I hear her speak, a part of me dies every time. A part of my soul dies. Same thing for Jordan Peterson. I hear him, I can't do it. I have no idea what it is. I can't listen to him. But Joy Behar in particular. Now, why is that? I don't know. Some people love her, but I think most people really don't. Trump has the same effect on people. When Trump comes out and says, basically, he says, I'm smarter than you. I'm richer than you. You're with me or you're against me. You're an idiot. You're a fool. You're a jerk. He's that guy that people kind of like the trash talking, towel snapping, that guy in high school that maybe somebody remember. I don't know. But he attacks people viscerally. It's a visceral thing. It's the way he does, the way he acts, the shoes, the whole bit, his wife. It's a composite. Other people love it, but he goes right into the soul. And what Frank Luntz doesn't understand is that's the issue. What Frank Luntz won't tell you is this race is about, do you want Trump or not Trump? Because nobody wants Kamala Harris. And Frank won't tell you that. They will say they do. They'll say, well, Hope, I like that. No. She represents the non-Trump. She does. Why? She hasn't said anything. I told you yesterday, Mrs. Allen and I went to see the movie Twisters, which is a remake of Twister. Pretty clever, isn't it? Steven Spielberg. It's kind of interesting. Now, let me ask you a question. I always want to know the following. How long? By the way, I don't know if I told you this, but they had closed caption. And we were like, hey. And at the bottom it says, crickets chirping, man screaming, sirens. Like, turn that off. This is a movie theater. What is this? What, you got deaf people coming to this? Maybe, but it's like, turn this off. I'm sorry, we can't. What do you mean you can't? It was the most distracting thing in the world. All of a sudden you see, the name of the song and what, anyway. But I was wondering, what if I had opening credits? Do you ever see sometimes, what's the one we go to, honey, on Broadway, the Super IMAX, whatever? They have the longest credits. I swear to God, they'll do 25 minutes of this stuff. I mean, it's like endless coming up. This time opening is Christmas. Enough with this coming up next Christmas. Play the damn thing. And this upcoming, and turn your phones off. And we've got the concession stand. Damn it, play the music. So I want to know, how long could they go before people got up and left? An hour? I'll bet you they could go 3 hours and somebody's still standing there waiting. I bet you anything. Not that many. Okay. Why do I bring that up? The question is, how long can Kamala Harris not say anything before somebody says, hey, look, hey, Kamala, listen, come here. Listen, hon, I got to tell you something. And let me explain something to you. We were Biden people before, but we saw him go out. This is what Frank Luntz is going to tell you. We were Biden people before because we can't stand this Trump guy. Can't stand him. Okay, fine. So Biden was the guy. And then he was a little bit, he lost his fastball. Things weren't the same. But, we thought maybe things will get better. Maybe, things will get a little bit better. I don't know, but whatever. And then June 27th or whatever came along, and it was this holy God. Even Raul says the great need to be loved damages our judgment. Oh, it does. And the need to love others also. Remember, there are people who love to be fans, Raul. Thank you. So June 27th comes along. We have this terrible event. I'm saying, oh my God, it was awful. I know, it was stupid. You're asking, why didn't we know this before? I know. It's weird. Okay. Then all of a sudden, lo and behold, guess what happens? Well, what happens next is July 5th, and this is the George Stephanopoulos interview, and it was even worse than anything. So we said, all right, that's it. That is it. We thought. Then all of a sudden, there was this thing called the George Clooney letter. Now, George Clooney is an actor who's owned by the shadow government. George Clooney doesn't have skeletons in his closet. He has like a museum of skeletons. Somebody did a joke about Bobby Kennedy. He doesn't have skeletons in his closet. He has like animal skeletons. He's got a bear skeleton. He's got a goat skeleton. Anyway. So he writes this letter and we're supposed to believe, okay, fine. By the way, George Clooney was the same one who, when he was in LA, when he was going, he didn't notice anything. Mr. Actor and Julia Roberts and other, they didn't know anything. Obama, they didn't know anything. They didn't notice anything. No problem then. They asked for all that money. They didn't notice anything. Okay, fine. So anyway, they said, well, are we going to go to the convention? No. Is he going to step down? Maybe he steps down. Is he going to release his delegates? Oh, no, we're not going to go to the convention? Well, what is it going to be? It's going to be Kamala. What? Kamala. No, wait. Hey. We didn't want her. He wanted her. We got her kind of, the tail end of stuff. I mean, voted for him, theoretically 81 million, but no. And they said, no, you don't understand. They shut everybody down the first time. They shut the Dems down the first time with Hillary. They told the Bernie bros, that's it. But we love Bernie. We don't care what you like. Listen, punk kids, get out of here. It's going to be hell. He'll remember Bernie crying like a little bitch. Okay, shut up. Then here comes Biden later on. And Biden is so mad. He says, I wanted to run in 2016, but you told me no. You said it was going to be Hillary, and she lost. Then I was going to run in 2020, and you said, no, I can't do it. But I said, yes, I am, and I did, and I beat him, theoretically. So anyway, so that happened. But now you give me this? Now you give me this? What are you doing? So at first, and this is the most important, what happened is, by the way, Clapton says, Trump is the best candidate ever. B.J. Harris, the worst. Yet election appears to be a toss-up. People are stupid. No, Clapton. Well, thank you. They're telling you they're telling you this. They're telling you it's a toss-up. Hang on. It's a good point. Let me stop right there. But let me go back to what I'm saying. So all of a sudden you came along and you gave us her. Now, we were happy at first because we were feeling pretty bad. It was feeling bad because Trump was saying, we've got it. Don Lemon's crying. George Clooney's crying. Everybody's crying. Everybody's losing their mind. We felt terrible. And now we feel good. So yes, our spirits went up. And at first, there are some people who are saying, sure, yeah, Kamala, whatever. Maybe we've got a chance. Yay! You go from this. And I can give you I can give you Sarah Bernhardt or somebody, or Madonna or some other, and you say, she's moving. She's moving. You went from I was like, the G7. No, it's a cheap fake. Remember that Brian Stelter, that little pimple? Remember this guy who was so desperate to get back, along with Fredo Cuomo? Please, I want to go back to CNN. They don't know where I am. What is this? What am I doing? Help me. I want to go back to CNN. I'm sorry. He was my brother. Shut up. So he started that phony rumor about how they're trying to court him back. I don't want him back. Brian Stelter came back and said, I'll do anything you want. I'll do anything you want. Brian, what? Please. Reliable sources. Okay, so I'm not that reliable. What do you want me to do? We want you to go on and tell people, that the picture of Biden walking around in the G7 going, with Maloney coming up, that was a cheap fake because of the angle. You want me to say what? I know. I'll do it. I'll say whatever you want. Just let me get back, please. I was making so much money doing nothing. Okay. So he goes on TV and they say it was a cheap fake. Nobody believes this stuff. So going back to Frank Luntz, the reason why there's these bumps is because people are saying, hey, it's okay. And at first, remember, she hasn't said anything. And they're saying, this is terrific. She comes out and she steals no tips. She specifically wanted, I know nobody cares about this, but she specifically wanted to tax tips. Remember this? IRS was coming after people left and right. And what are you talking about? And then somebody else said, make America great again. These people have no soul. And you got Doug who's knocking up the nanny and this. There's something about these Democrats and nannies. You notice that? Remember one of the Kennedy brothers who the son of the nanny and what is this? Here's to old nannies. Get a Mrs. Doubtfire and cut your losses, ladies. In any event. Now, you ask the question. And our good friend said, let me bring this up again. Mr. Clapton says, Trump beat candidate Harris, best candidate ever. Harris is the worst. Yet election appears to be a toss-up. People are stupid. How many people believe the election's a toss-up? How many believe the election's a toss-up? And if it is a toss-up, then guess what? Frank Luntz has won. If you think it's a toss-up, you're thinking in essence, well, Trump must not be that strong. If it's a toss-up, does it make you say, well, by God, I'm going to vote for him? Maybe. Maybe not. But what does it mean? It means, she must be stronger than I thought. Right? Isn't that what you think? She must be stronger than I thought. I don't believe it's a toss-up in the least. Why? It just started. I'm going to try this again, dear friends. I'm going to say this again, and I want you to listen to me. There are 85 days until the election. They're already coming up with stuff left and right. And the answer? The answer is going to be social media. Social media, social media, social media. Social media is the answer for everything. When I was a kid and you were a kid, we didn't have it. Think about this. If your mom wanted to act like some bar tramp, some hot mom, what did she do? Nothing. If your mom and Mrs. Waverly down the street and whatever wanted to do something, what are you going to do? Go to set up the brownie and say, do me a favor. You take a picture of me next to the pool. Mom, I don't want to. Please. Okay. Here's your picture. Now take this to the drugstore and develop it. What? Okay, there it is. Now I got to take this. How do I disseminate this? Okay, I'm going to take this to the grocery store. Remember that little cardboard thing? Did you ever go to the grocery store in the old days? They had a little cardboard thing, cork board. Somebody says, I'll mow your lawn. They have little pieces of paper where you cut them and you have the phone number, you tear it off. You can have your mom's picture there. Look, I'm hot. That's the way social media was. There used to be, before Grindr and Buffer and Killer and Tinder and Schmicker and all that, before that, there was this poor thing as a SWF in search of SWF. I'll take it. There you go. No pictures, no lying, no catfishing. It all changed. When we were kids, if you want to say, this guy Trump, he's got a, hello, anybody listening? No. But I think, hello, Aunt Maxine. Yeah. Hi, this is Toby. Yeah, listen, I'm going to tell you about Donald Trump. Why am I calling you? To tell you what I think. Yeah, there's nobody to talk to. That's what we did. We didn't go to anybody. I hate Joy Behar. What do? You can go to knock on the door. Yeah, hi. You probably don't know me. I'm 3 houses down. Yeah. Listen, I hate Joy Behar. Okay. Door slams. Okay. We just kept things to ourselves. We never talked. Today there's this effusive thing. Did you see the latest thing? There's this TikTok of this rat pulling a piece of pizza. I'll never forget it. Planking. It's called planking. This is the greatest thing in the world. How did we live without this? I don't know. Everybody's got one of these. A phone case. That's right. And pretty soon, we'll all have the phone. No, we've got a phone. And whether people realize it or not, everybody's got some form of social media. Judas Goat Barbecue says, I took statistics in college years ago, and as I recall, having data show 50-50 every time is almost statistically impossible. It defies logic. Well, if that's really, I took stats too because I was a psych major. We did, like, for example, Kruskal-Wallis, P is less than 0.05. There's all of these tests you can do, and you want to do mean, median, frequency, and there's stats. But Frank Luntz, let me go back to what it is about getting Frank Luntz. You want Frank Luntz so that people will hire Frank Luntz to either appear, do his groups, do his stupid, these focus groups are a waste of time. But let me go back to what I said, to what Clapton said. Do you think this is a toss-up? If you think it is, then they're effective. Let me tell you something. When I picked a jury, you don't understand it. In the old days, it were voir dire. Voir dire is when you pick a jury. And some states are more liberal than others. I mean, you can really, now they're just nothing. You go to see jury picking in New York, it's the worst. It's the worst. Nobody really gets into it. But they would say, for example, if I said, yes, Gina Destito, yes, juror Gina, yes. Gina, do you promise to listen to all the facts of the case and to render a decision based only upon the evidence adduced and not on any particular bias as to race or whatever? What are you going to say? No, because he's Puerto Rican and they're all crooks. No, you're not going to say. You're going to say, yes, of course. That's a focus group. They're lying. They lie about stuff. They lie. Let me ask you a question. Smiling Sue. Look at this. You got to run, my peeps. No, Stu. So you go when I say you go, Missy. You don't just run out now. Don't give me this, I got to run. Unless you have the runs, which is a different story. All right. How about Adam Griffith? All right, Adam. Sit down and listen to me carefully. Adam, I'll bet you use Scott toilet paper. I'll bet you use Scott. I'm serious, over Charmin or anything else. You know why? Why? I don't know why. I don't know. I like it. I'm voting for Trump. Why? What? I'm voting for what? Because I'm not even voting for him. I said, I want to stop this. I want to stop this. There's a car inside. I'm looking at it. Oh my God. Remember in the old days when cars used to run? I think it was when I was a baby, or I think it was me. I don't remember. We had this big Chevy, and I was in the car and I was going like this, and I put the thing down, and the car rolls down. My mother always told me the story, and this woman knocks on the door. Says, ma'am, yes, your son is in the car on the street. What? Because nobody came. He goes, oh my God. And I rolled it down. Luckily, nobody was there. Now, if you saw that and you saw this, goes, there's a baby inside a car. You'll do everything. You'll throw a log in front of it. You'll scream. You'll yell. You'll do anything to stop this. to stop, to halt the progress of this car that's rolling down a driveway with a baby in it. You'll do anything. You'll jam it. You'll get really crazy because you want to stop this runaway car. That's what this election is about, to stop this runaway horror show. Kamala is horrible. And there are people like Frank Luntz and others who will say, my business is going on shows giving opinions. And the moment they don't want to hear my opinion, I'm out of work. So I'm going to make sure they always want my opinion. And consequently, I am going to say whatever they want. And if I tell people, that's it, Trump's got it, they're not going to call me on anymore. They love to say, well, it's a toss-up. Ooh, that's good. Well, why is it a toss-up? Well, have me on your show and I'll tell you. That's a guaranteed. Well, here's what he's doing right and here's what he's doing wrong. That's good. I'll take it, as opposed to, it's over. He's through. He's finished. Nobody wants him. What I want to vote for has nothing to do with Trump. I don't know if I like him. I honest to God say, can I tell you something? Seriously? If I didn't know who he was, I don't know if he'd be my friend, if I want to talk to him. I don't know it. I don't know. I don't look at him like saying, I really like him. I really like him. There are very few people that I thought to myself, you know what? I kind of like that guy. I really want to, I don't know. I don't think of politicians that. Maybe Ike. But I've never really, it's not about him. It's not about any of these people. It's not about the flag. And I'm proud to be an American. Stop that. You have no idea. I'm not proud to be an American because America has done some of the most stupid things ever because of this thing called democracy or whatever it is. We're like spoiled children. We're stupid. So I'm not proud. This is my country. This is my country. This is it. It's like it's your family. I'm not proud of them, but I love them and I'm stuck with them. This is my country. This is all I know. I don't want to go to, I've got these friends of mine. I knew this one guy who thought he was Italian. So why don't you go to Italy? No. I mean, he really thought he was. You know what I mean? Look at me. Hey, buddy. Why don't you go to Italy? Why don't you move there? I've got another friend of mine who is a socialist. And he started to do this socialism. I said, do me a favor. Why don't you go to some place where there's social? I don't understand it. Why don't you go to a country that's socialist? You love that. You don't like it here. We're not socialist. Go. Do you ever meet somebody who says, I think skiing is great. I bought skis. I've got the newest bindings. I've got the poles. I've got all this stuff. Have you been skiing? No. But I love it. Well, why don't you go there? Why don't you go ski? Oh, I don't want to. That's too much work. So we got to ask ourselves, this is all we know. And I've got this thing called the Constitution, which I'm not going to hold up anymore. That's all I know. And I basically don't want perfection, but all I'm telling you is this. If Kamala wins, or if Trump loses, we are in store for I don't even know what you want to call it. They're going to come in and say, thank you, Kamala. Move out of the way. Bring our team in. Okay, sign this, sign this, sign this. What is it? This is a mandatory transgender. What? Just sign it. Okay, fine. You and Doug will be handsomely taken care of. All right, whatever it is. This basically, we're going to deport. We're going to deport, sign this. Oh, deport illegals? No, we're going to deport Americans. What? Americans who are here that we don't like anymore because they have so many hate crime. Their social credit score is low. We're going to deport them. Just sign it. Okay. Social credit score. Sign it. All right. Sign this. This is central bank digital currency. What is that? It's basically the end of cash. Sign it. Okay. What about this? This basically blocks blockchain. This kills crypto. What? Sign it. This is a bill that makes hate crime illegal and subject to, just like, remember we did the beta test, we did the laboratory test in the UK. Sign it. Okay, I'll sign it. Here's a sign that completely removes the word male and female in any official public sign. It. The DEI woman from, I think it was Delta, she says, I want to get rid of ladies and gentlemen. She's the woman they hired. DEI. She's an expert. Of course, she's a black woman. Got to have a black woman. And she says, and I'm going to, so Delta can say, okay, we hired a DEI. Okay, now get off our back. We hired her. Her idea was, let's don't say, ladies and gentlemen, we'll begin boarding flight 255 to Panama City. Don't say ladies and gentlemen. Okay, sign that. She will sign anything you want. Oh, and by the way, Bibi Netanyahu, yeah, he's got his office over here. What? He has an office. Israel has an official partner. We just in the back. We're just going to sign off on things. So it just makes it a little bit easier because Israel is now our whatever it is. Or maybe Israel isn't. But we don't care what you have to say about this. And Ukraine, that's around the corner. Victoria Nuland, we're going to move her into the White House. She's from basically the Institute for the Study of War. She's in there as well. Am I going too fast for you? Yeah, good. We're going to enlist members of the Sinaloa cartel as auxiliary police. She will sign anything they give her. She has no brain. She has no mind. She has no conviction. She has no thought. She has no belief. She just wants to be sexy and dance. And you are so sexy. You're the first. And remember, you're the first black. Well, I'm an Indian. Well, you're the best. Well, you're the first. You're the first. You are history. You go, girl. Hey, girl. Sign this. Thank you very much. Here's the official portrait. Madam President. How do you like the sign of that? Madam President. Oh, yes. You are it. By the way, did you hear this? They're doing a movie about you. Angela Bassett's playing you, or whoever the hell it is. Raul says, if Kamala wins, I'm not going to say that. Thank you. We lose. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you that this is the most important thing in the world. This is at the stage now where you can enjoy all this stuff you want and listen to Frank Luntz and listen to Mark Levin and all of that stuff. The answer is going to come from social media. The way to destroy a campaign, number one, is to eliminate cheating. I don't think the Republicans are taking upon it on their own to use legal cheating. That would involve Lara Trump, who knows what she's doing, but she doesn't because she's there because I don't know why. But assuming that the Republicans don't legally cheat, are they going to stop legal cheating? Probably not. Probably not. Or maybe they can't. I don't know. So that's number one. Number two, I'm going to say this now. Somebody keep track of this. My 1,000th time. President Trump, I don't know what it takes. Talk to Elon. He's going to be talking to him soon or something. I don't know what it is. Talk to Elon. Talk to one of your Silicon Valley folks. You're going to have this thing on your desk. It's going to be a camera. You push the button. And maybe if you want to be playing golf, by the way, lose the golf thing. I am absolutely stop playing golf. It looks like you're not taking it seriously. Kamala's going back and forth, and you're like, hey, I got nothing to worry about. Don't do it. Nobody cares about how you drive. You got a weird swing. I know you're very good, and you don't look good in the white. It just does lose this. Or if you play, don't record it or play at night or whatever the hell it is. I don't know, but stop with this. I'm playing golf. It gives people the impression I don't. Anyway, you've got to open the mic every single day. and say something like, by the way, did you see the picture of her or whatever? That was AI. It was phony. Stop. That's it. What happens? CNN today. Jake Tapper reporting. Today, President Donald Trump instituted a new plan. He calls it Trump moments or Trumpavision or Trumpalooza, whatever it is. He does a 1 minute, sometimes a 30-second little drop that nobody's ever done before in the history of American politics. It's not a fireside chat. It's like a drive-by. It's like, and he'll say something. And in this latest one, that is causing quite a stir, and everybody's reporting on it because he steals it. Remember, he's the story now. He's the story. Everybody's going to be talking about how Trump is using this new thing called the Trump second, the Trump moment, the Trump blast, the Trump drive-by, whatever you want to call it. And Trump accuses this of being AI. You stop it. Now, what happens? First of all, the Kamala team says, what's going on? Why are they talking about Trump? Because he's doing what? He's doing what? He's doing a minute? He's listening to Uncle Lenny. I knew he'd finally do that. Damn it. Because it made so much sense. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody. Well, today, President Trump instituted this thing called the Trump drive-by. It's a 30-second online message where he says it, and everybody's talking. Is it AI? Isn't it AI? And then all the TikTokers are going crazy, and they're going to be swarming. And the Ian Miles Chong and the Dom Lukers and the Colin Ruggs and everybody you can imagine, all of these incredible people, DC Drano, blah, 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 and they've got the experts, and it'll just completely change the focus. And then the next one, I swear to God, if I was Vance, you think I'm kidding me? You think I'm kidding? You think I'm kidding you? I get the worst wig in the world and have Vance come out in the 1 minute and said, I'd like to dispel any of these ideas of me wearing a wig. Let me explain something to you. And he's wearing the wig and he's mocking you. He's mocking you and he's laughing you. And he basically says, I'm not even going to take what you're saying seriously. And I'm wearing a wig. Because in America, you can be whatever you want. And they're going to go crazy over that. They're going to stop and they're going to be talking about that. Meanwhile, Kamala's saying, excuse me, what about me? You're not on the radar anymore, which is good for you because and then he does something else and something else. 10 seconds. Do you know? Let me ask you something. When you do a YouTube video and you want to get the most people watching it, do you know that when you go, maybe like, I don't want to know, maybe after 7 minutes, a minute, everybody watch it. Why do you think shorts are? How many of you loved? Don't forget Scary Poppins, Ministerer of Truth. I like that one. Thank you, Cool Miser. Raul says, no need to love. My need to love led to my own demise. You're scaring me, Raul. You're scaring me. Crypto says Trump shorts. Yes. Everybody loves shorts. These little things that are just so. It would change everything. She's out this guy. If all of a sudden Trump goes to the mic, said, Trump, do this. President Trump. Mike goes on. Oh, here's another moment. He goes, anybody see Timmy dance there? Whew. Stop. What did that mean? Then they're going to be doing it. They're going to be sending out. Everybody's going to be trolling him, getting his dances. They're going to be doing the music mixes. Some of the best production work I've ever seen in my life. That's online. These kids and people, they're brilliant. Have you seen that one? What's his name? Doggy or Shouzy or whatever it is about love. There's this crypt walk thing. They did this crypt dance, and there was this fellow who's like from a clogger. I don't know who this dude is. And they put it, and he's doing like the Snoop Dogg crypt walk. He's like the biggest thing anybody's ever seen. All of a sudden, you start mocking, crazy Tim. And then have Trump the next day, a little second say, hey, how come Kamala's not laughing anymore? Word is, they told her, stop laughing. Come on, Kamala. Bring back the laugh. Come on, everybody. What was your favorite Kamala moment? And they'll bring them back again. Somebody somewhere is going to be like to have a comedian who has as the soundtrack Kamala laughing. You don't understand something. It derails momentum. When you laugh at somebody, it's worse than hating them. Laughing is the dismissal. Hating is they're serious enough where you fear them. But to laugh means they're a joke. Clone of Steve Dreamkiller said, Harris could do a short where she says, excuse me, I'm not speaking. Condescending head nod. I'm not speaking. You are too mondo, my friend. Too mondo. It is, I am telling you, you're not going to win this by talking about school choice. You want to destroy their momentum. And I'm going to have like a where's Joe? Knock on the door. Joe, are you okay? Welfare check. Hello, DC police. Hello, this is President Trump. Yes, President Trump. Listen, could you send a car? Yeah, it's to 1600 Pennsylvania. Is he okay? Nobody's seen him in a while. Yes, Mr. President. I'm just going to make sure Joe's okay. I used to have his cell number. Joe won't talk to me. Is he okay? You know, you hear about these stories about family members. Then too bad we can't get like Keith Morrison. Well, he was a senator from, and now he can't be found. Well, let's look at. I swear, you think I'm kidding. You think I'm kidding. C2 Universe says Trump has had music at his rallies compared to Kamala rallies. Well, Kamala does it one thing where she is, I think, Beyonce or I don't even know what the hell about this. Freedom. Freedom. Now, listen, let me explain something to you. You're not going to like this. I'm not a big, the rallies are okay, but they've got to be tweaked a little bit. I'm going to leave it at that. In conclusion, Frank Luntz is not here. And by the way, it's not Frank Luntz. He's not that important. It's any of these people. Go down the 5. Look at the 5. I don't remember the last time I saw it. But on my YouTube thing, they keep giving me these people sit around and they try to think of something funny, not something pertinent, not something true, not something accurate, not something relevant or relative no, it's about let's put over this guy, whatever his name is, Mr. Funny Guy. I don't even know his name. What the hell's his name? Who knows? It's about getting the numbers for Fox News. The Last Walls. Oh my God. Dodger, that's beautiful. The Scorsese, the band. The Last Walls. Walls. Michael Jackson, Off the Walls. Climbing the Walls. Oh, that's beautiful. The Last Walls. Oh, I'm stealing that one. Last Walls. That is just, oh my God. It's beautiful. Of course, you got to remember. Got to go back to Robbie Robertson. Rick Danko, still makes no difference. Greatest song. Oh my God. Don't play that for somebody who has just broken up. Not a good idea. All right, dear friends, God, what a great time I've had. What a great, great time. I love being with you. You have no earthly idea. It gets me going. I'm serious. It rejuvenates me. It makes me think like, yes, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. There's somebody out there who appreciates me. By God, they appreciate me. Now, before we begin, if you think this is good, on October the 26th, oh, hang on a minute. C2 412B sounds like a decongestant, says Trump should probably do less and smaller rallies, more meet and greets. I think he needs to change it because and I think you're right. People have habituated to it. Remember, 26th of October at the Cutting Room, you, me, Mrs. L. I want to meet everybody, take pictures with everybody. I'm not one of these that goes hit the stage and take off. This isn't about stand-up. This is about my rally. This is about my rally. You will laugh and cry simultaneously, which causes quite a stir. Now, also, the biggest thing going on right now in the world of news is Mrs. L's YouTube channel. It is and her live the other day, people are still talking about it. You walk up and down the avenue and they say, "Did you see that?" Yes, I did. When's she doing another one? It's happening. So make sure you sign up for Lynn's Warriors. There's the link. Lynn's Warriors. And follow her on YouTube at Lynn's Warriors as well. And make sure this is Lionel Nation and Lionel Legal, because sometimes people get, you gotta know what I'm saying. Sometimes people get and I mean that. Some people get unsubscribed. So C2B12B Dodger, the last wall is beautiful. Thank you. Dr. Dreamkiller, Crypto Domini, Big Dick from Chi-Town. Raul, thank you, my friend. Mr. Cool Miser, Judas Goat Barbecue, Clapton. Great point today, dear friend. Thank you. Ryan, you know him and you love him. Ryan, thank you, my friend. Hot Pocket, thank you. Andy Armour, ladies and gentlemen. Gwig, Ime Green, JTE, thank you so much. Andy Armour, Christian Janus, and thank you for this. All right, dear friends, we will see you tonight, this eve at 7 p.m. I also have some, Pink Floyd's Breaking the Walls. Stop it, climbing the walls. The Walls Flowers, maybe Jacob Dylan. Anyway, thank you. See you later. By the way, Lionel members always get new drops, and also become a member of Lynn's Warriors as well on YouTube. In any event, see you later today. Don't forget, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you.